Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to continue with this series of the friendship series, and it's going to be dedicated to the Boyz members Q and Sonu. So yes, let's talk a bit about their energies. Q is a Scorpio with the moon in Taurus, and Sonu it's an Aries sun with the moon in Leo. So yes, actually Scorpio and Aries, they do get along, like even though they have like strong personalities, and probably Aries is a bit more like outgoing when it comes to show his passions and how he feels, and probably Scorpio is passionate as well, but has a different way to process emotions and how they work with their passion. But they do understand each other. Probably, I think that it has to do with Aries' transparency and authenticity. I think that somehow Scorpio people do feel um, like comfortable with Aries energy because they seem very like not too hard to read. So sometimes for a Scorpio to come across this kind of people is a bit of a break, a moment to relax in relationships, to not have to be like always alarmed or always like suspicious. And also I think that Aries is not judgmental. They take people as they are, and so probably if they see that a Scorpio has like some um defense mechanisms, some like things that probably an Aries wouldn't understand about the deepness of a Scorpio behavior, they just don't care. They just, if you are their friend, they will accept you like you are, with all your traits and differences. So I think that this is the reason why they click so well. Sometimes it's like it's very, the contrast of their personalities is very obvious, because one is very outgoing and the other one is very like reserved. So it's like, oh, how come these two people are friends? But actually they do work together, and they do work well together. And I do happen to know actually a lot of couples, like real life couples, that they are a Scorpio sun and an Aries sun. So there has to be like, probably because both of them are ruled by Mars, so it's like they keep their energies going, like there's a passion inside that unites them. Um, and also, I think that if we talk about their birth charts, I believe that Sonu has Mars in Taurus. So definitely, even though he has a lot of fire placements in his big three, he also has a rising in Scorpio. So Sonu is going to gravitate towards Scorpio energy and also towards Taurus energy, and we can see this actually in the way they Q and him. He also gravitates um towards new, towards Chani. So I think that it talks about their energies and how also Q is a very interesting mix between his Scorpio sun and his moon in Taurus. So it makes sense why he's friends with New, and why they are like, they are this very tight bond. But here comes Sonu also, like he being like, okay, I'm here, I'm almost like fear willing here, but it's like I have fun with you guys and I want to be near you, and I want to like hang out with you. And this is something about Aries, that sometimes Aries is a bit like, they don't I'm sorry. I just I'm sorry. Is that they are a bit shameless, that it's like, oh yes, I know that probably this is very crowded here, but I want to be friends with you guys and I want to get close to you. So he doesn't mind to be the fair wheel in here, but in this case we are talking about Q and Sonu's relationship and friendship, and they had moments of them hanging out with each other without New being present. But definitely, I noticed that their dynamic changes when New is around. Probably because New is the Toro sun, so he somehow is. It seems like he is the one that is like the most influential one in this dynamic that they have, because I see like Q and Son gravitating towards him, like to be like, okay, we trust New. And actually when these two are together, it's like, okay, we don't trust each other, but we know we are chaotic, but we have fun anyway, so it's what it is. But whenever New comes near them, it seems like he brings a bit of a structure, like they don't go that wild. But they're really a very interesting duo. So let's see what the cards have to say about this. I placed Q on the left and Sonu on the right, and Q got the Six of Wands, the Six of Cups, and the Seven of not the seven, the six of a lot of six actually. Yes, a lot of six. Um. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not a six. It's a seven. I'm sorry. Um, but yes, it's very close actually. The Seven of Pentacles. So I feel that, personally, for Q's perspective, his relationship with Sonu is actually something that is very dear to him. That actually he considers a success. He considers himself victorious to be able to have another person that he feels like he can be close to. I think that, definitely we had talked about Q's energy. He does have, he is a Scorpio. He has a moon in Taurus. So uh, sometimes when you have opposite signs being in your personality traits, you do need to learn a lot about yourself and regulate this discrepancy between the nature that you are very used to or that is known to you, and the opposite that is somehow here to teach you that it's not all black and white, that sometimes you can be the opposite to your nature. So I think that probably this is the fact why, probably he will have a lot of Taurus energy around him. Probably his potential partner also could have Taurus energy as well, because there's something that needs to be integrated in him when it comes to Taurus and stability and being able to trust and to sort of like being stable and not so intense or chaotic in relationships, that actually he can slow down his energies and he can relax, while trusting others, and I think that he feels as if he gained really a friend, a very dear friend with Sonu, and he feels like he finally was able to let his guards down a bit, because Q actually, he is not the kind of person that he's going to be calling everyone a friend. Actually, if you observe his interaction with the rest of the members, and by saying this, I do not mean that he doesn't like the other members. I'm saying that he tends to hang out with the same person always. Like, he is more of a one-on-one conversation kind of person. When there's a lot of people, he usually tends to retreat himself. He tends to get reserved, or he doesn't like. He gets a bit like awkward all of a sudden, and he lets other people talk, or guide the situation, and he's just in the background, just observing. But he's also very outgoing. There's something about his energy that he is very, actually, he's very energetic. It's just that he doesn't show that side to everyone. I think that he also puts people to a test, that it's not easy to be his friend, that you do need to have a sort of like being very insistent with him, and also being a bit like consistent, in the sense that you need to be a bit like stubborn, in the sense that, it's one day at a time, one step at a time, one opportunity at a time. You need to really show that you really want to be his friend, and that you are willing to put the effort. I think this is why he's so hesitant, or sometimes he pushes people away, because he's like, no, I don't want pretty words, or I don't want you to tell me a funny story. I want you to show me with actions and with presence that you really want me in your life. Something like that. So definitely here with the Six of Cups, he also feels like a child when he's able to connect with the very childish nature of him. And probably when he's with Sonu, he feels like they are both children, and that they have similar reactions or a similar humor, and where he feels also understood, and where he feels appreciated, and not he doesn't feel judged, and I think that this is this is something very important for Q, because actually he feels judged sometimes by others, and actually it's something that I don't think others judge him. I think that is his perception of being judged. Sometimes he gets, and I always blame this to his Virgo Mars, that it seems like he's always like, like very nervous, like very like on the defensive, like okay, like, like what, like looking sideways, being in the defensive, almost like a bit nervous, like okay, like what is it that you're going to say to me? Are you going to make fun of me? Are you going to say something nice? Are you going to try to be the smartest guy here? It's like he's like on the defensive, in just in case you're going to attack him with some criticism, he's ready to say something or to do something, he's on the defensive. But in the case of Sonu, I think he feels like they are equals, like they offer each other in their own way and in their own expression. They offer each other a sense of like, like I get you, like I understand you. We are not the same person, but I understand you. They have an unspoken kind of understanding, emotional understanding, even though their personalities are very different. And then, yes, here with the Seven of Pentacles, I think that with Sonu, he learned to be patient in relationships. I think that this is something that probably Q, because he is a Scorpio, he is very determinating, in the sense that for him, either he likes you or he doesn't like you, and for him, it's like, he has to, I wouldn't say he has to instantly click with you, but if he has like a wrong start with you, or a wrong first impression, or something, he doesn't like something about you, he will probably will not give you a second chance. He's not very and this could be, this is Moon in Taurus, that he's a bit inflexible in the sense, either you are with him or you are not part of his group, or you are his friend or you are not his friend, something like that. And I think that he's learning to slowly being a bit more flexible and adaptable in relationships. And because he's like, wow, if I was able to learn to be patient with Sonu, and I gained a friend by being flexible and by allowing him to show me that he's a really good person, it's like, wow, maybe I am wrong about the way I used to go into relationships before. he's probably learning that actually, because you know what's funny here, I think that what he's telling me here is like this sort of like that actually probably at first he find Sonu's energy to be a bit annoying, and to be like he wouldn't be normally friends with someone like that, but with the experience of spending time with Sonu, he realized that Sonu is a very trustworthy and honest person. So he's like, wow, I learned something new. I learned that you shouldn't judge so quickly. So this is where patience, this is where the Seven of Pentacles is like you believing in the process, like okay, like I don't know much about you. Like at first I didn't agree with what you said or what you thought or how you acted, but now I'm slowly understanding that relationships are all about, like working on them, and not so much about expecting to gain a certain something from a relationship. It's more about appreciating the person for what they are and what they bring to the relationship. So it's beautiful. It's really beautiful, guys. It's really I would really appreciate if you are a fan of them, if you could give me a feedback, because what I'm reading here, it's amazing, especially because I see an evolution in Q, and I'm glad that he has Sonu to experience this with, because probably this will also allow him to expand his friendships or his circle of friends in the future. And in Sonu's case, we have the Six of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. So for Sonu is something a bit more intellectual. Probably he also had to learn to be patient with Q. Probably, he's someone that at first he felt like he needed to be a bit careful about what he said in front of Q. He because there's a lot of source here. So this probably has to do about him probably in their first encounters, him being actually a bit blunt or too honest, or being a bit sharp with words, and actually like learning by observation of Q's reaction that actually Q wasn't comfortable with his honesty. And I don't think that it's about his honesty. It's more about the way he delivered the words. Let's not forget that Sonu is an Aries, so Sonu probably had a very like a straightforward way of saying things, especially like, oh, I don't like this or I don't agree with this, so probably it made Q's reaction to be to instantly put his guards up, so he sort of studied Q. I think that he is also in this apprentice mode when it comes to relationships, because actually I think that he never also met someone like you, with Q's personality. So he's like, oh, I have to be a bit more strategic here. I have to read the room. I have to read Q. I have to study Q so I can be friends with him, so I can communicate better with Q. There's something here that I think that probably they had very interesting conversations, and probably what he values the most is the conversations that he has with Q. Probably Q has shared with him a lot of wisdom or points of view that he has, and that it somehow had taught Sonu a lot of important lessons. Let's not forget that Sonu is a Scorpio rising, so as he gets older, he will eventually have to connect, or he will experience situations that has a lot to do with Scorpio and Plutonian energy. So I think that him, by sort of like slowly trying to understand cues, that Q is a mystery, for him. It's like it seems like he's like, I need to walk. At first I was like, walking on eggshells with Q, because like to not say something wrong or to not get him upset. So there was something like, oh, I need to watch my language, or I need to watch the way I express myself, because actually probably Q is a kind of person that gets offended easily by the words, or actually he is like always like, like he pays attention to every little thing you say. So if you, for example, if you're trying to be funny and actually, say a joke, he will probably not get it, because probably, um, it takes a while for you to be like, okay, yes, we can laugh at each other, but not at the beginning of our relationship, because I don't know you and I don't trust you. So don't act like you are my friend if you haven't passed the test yet, something like that. And it's very funny because actually I think that um now Sonu is also slowly like learning to focus his attention on someone that is not himself. Sonu is also an Aries with the moon in Leo, so definitely he's someone that he knows himself very well, and he's also very focused with his needs, with what he wants to get, with how he feels. He's a very healthy, outgoing, and authentic person. So probably, having like a sort of like interaction with you, he learned that sometimes he has to like, like refrain himself from sounding too egotistic or too selfish, because it seems like um Q puts restrictions to that. He doesn't like that, so he somehow is learning to be empathic, and I think that this is important, because actually I think that Sonu doesn't have much water placements except for his rising, so probably for him to be emotional, of course he's generous because he's a moon in Leo, but for him to be, sensitive or considerate to the other persons, and also using intuition a lot. He's not used to using intuition. He's probably very like outgoing, like he says what he means. you know he means what he says. He goes through life with a very showing his external self. He's like very on he's very comfortable in his skin. So when he meets someone as complex as Q, it seems, like he needs to learn sort of etiquettes or sort of processes that he needs in order to get along. So it was a whole journey. This is why we have the Six of Swords here. For him, it was like, landing in an island in an unknown territory. For him was like, wow, this is a new experience for me. I never met someone like you. But definitely there's a lot of wisdom, and there's a lot of knowledge to be learned here. And then for the relationship as an overall, we have the Devil card, the Three of Pentacles, and the Star card. So definitely, probably here with the Devil card, it means that what they have in common is their passion. They are both very passionate. And in here, I know a lot of people freak out when they see the Devil card. That actually this card talks about attachment, about being jealous, being possessive. But since it's surrounded by a lot of positive cards, like the Three of Pentacles, that is teamwork, and the Star card, that is about shining like a star, and also destiny, I think that they definitely will help to, will help each other to become more passionate about what they do. They probably, when they are together, they feed off each other's energy or each other's passions. So it's all about using this very intense nature that they have inside, to use it for teamwork, and to use it to be better, to have a better relationship, to have better teamwork, and to also to have a more passionate and a more more intense image. There's something about them like slowly working on themselves to become more appealing online, or actually like them becoming this, connecting with their Scorpio energy and being a bit more like hypnotizing, like addictive, like something like that. They are definitely growing like artists, and they are also growing in their friendship. So there's something about here like them to be really proud of themselves for how passionate they are, and also to be able to work together, and to be like, oh yes, you share the same passion as I do. You are as obsessed with getting the right results as me. So there's this sense of correspondency, of reciprocity. Like you are passionate in your own way and style, and I'm passionate in my own way and style, but we both have in common is that we are passionate about our work, and we are passionate about teamwork. It's not about us only, it's about the whole group. It's about making the whole group have better performances, like having a lot of things, um, a lot of instances where they can feel they can attract more audience or attract more attention and be more attractive and alluring to the public and to future and possible fans. Here this relationship is really blessed because we finish this with the star card. So there's this element of like, I feel like I know you from somewhere, like there's a lot of familiarity, and they will definitely help each other to shine more. So there's a sense of also like making each other feel more confident about themselves. There's this sense of lifting each other up, lifting each other's spirit, being like, okay, like let's focus, let's overcome this, let's be our best, let's shine together. So it's beautiful, guys. So yes, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for being here, and thank you for this recommendation, and have a great day, guys. Bye.